What is up? So in this video, I'm gonna hook you up with one of the best ear training exercises that seriously works for creating guitar covers. Now, this isn't some boring academic exercise, right, that nobody actually sticks with, but rather this is designed specifically for how we guitarists think and play by ear. So applying this exercise every day will definitely get your ear ready to start getting keys of songs in order to create your own personal creative guitar covers. Yes, instead of desperately searching for tabs, which is what my guitar life was before I found out about arranging. So stick around for the whole video because I'm actually giving away my melody mapping ear training guide to everyone who watches till the end. So for those who don't know me yet, my name is Jamil Valdovinos. I am the co-founder of fluentguitar.com, and I help self-taught guitar players stop relying on tabs and start creating their own fingerstyle creative covers, even if they can't play by ear yet and have no clue on how music theory actually works. So if you're tired of that feeling when you want to play a song but you can't find the tab anywhere, or you're just frustrated at playing repetitively just tabs and tabs and tabs, watch this video, because this ear training exercise will be crucial for when you're actually picking out notes and finding keys on your own, and it's actually designed for regular guitarists like us, okay, not classically trained music nerds. Now, there is some professional ones, I'm not gonna lie, right? There's some cool ones, right? But there's some nerds out there, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean they're not cool though, so I'm gonna leave it at that. All right. So let's actually get into this ear training exercise that will change how you play guitar forever. So what is this exercise? Okay, so for this exercise, I actually want you to pick a song that you want to create a cover out of. I want you to try to start with an easy one, okay, preferably one that doesn't have vocals, because when you add vocals, things get a little bit more complicated, right? It's not that hard, but it does get more complicated. So there's actually 3 things that I want you to do. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to actually absorb the music. You need to listen to the music throughout the day, all right? However, you're actually gonna do it in a very specific way. Now, you need to learn how to actually divide the song that you're hearing into pieces. So generally, at its core, music, right, a song is divided into its harmony, it has its bass, and it has its melody. So I want you to try to tell them apart when it comes to actually listening to the music. So melody, right? Melody is usually the thing that you hum to, and it's actually the part that your ear mostly basically follows. Now the harmony, there are softer notes underneath that actually support the melody, okay, or just kind of like move with it, okay? And then the bass is just obvious deep low notes, or sometimes they don't necessarily have to be that low, but at the end of the day, it's just the lowest note that you're actually hearing in the song. So I want you to actually try to divide it in this way. Listen to it throughout the day, try to identify that bass, identify that harmony, identify the melody, right? And listen to it wherever you go, whenever you can, right? Bus, car, whatever, school, work, whenever you can, right? In your break, right? And then just absorb it, all right? Absorb that. Just make sure though that you are using headphones, because you're gonna need all the help you can get when it comes to actually dividing them. When you use your speakers of the computer, phone, right, it's not enough, because usually you're kind of just listening to this jungle of notes. We don't want that, right? We want to be able to divide them. So that's the first thing that you do, right? Now the second thing is actually very simple. I want you to use your voice, all right? When you're hearing the music, use your voice. Try to sing the bass alone, right? The harmony alone, melody alone, right? Just try to sing it. It's not about being a good singer, but it's actually about dividing the music and trying to just match the pitch of it, which is basically just matching the specific note that you're hearing on the song, right? And this is actually gonna prepare you so that when you come into the guitar, you can actually match that pitch that you've been hearing throughout the day, right? When you've heard that song, and be able to more easily translate it into the guitar. So number 3, right? So you're gonna actually now listen for relativity. So when you're listening to the song, I want you to try to identify, right, if, for example, when you're hearing the melody, right, you need to ask yourself, did it sound just higher or did it sound lower? So when we put it into the guitar, right, we can actually tell if we're actually going down the fretboard or we need to go up the fretboard, right? We need to know that stuff, right? So that's why we're looking out. Is the song making a big jump in pitch, right? Or this is just kind of close by the previous note, just moved up a fret, right? Or it just like moved down the scale, right? So those are actually the 3 things that you have to do in order to do this exercise, right? Now, just do this throughout the day and you're gonna be able to start internalizing just like that music in your ear, so that when you actually come into the guitar and you start doing things like finding the key of the song, right? Which is gonna help you narrow down those notes. It's gonna help everything easier. It's gonna actually help you arrange the song, right? It's gonna make everything 10 times better, right? When you actually go and do that, and when you actually go and start finding notes, everything will be so much easier. Now, if you're actually ready to develop the skill further, right, and break free from that tab dependency, drop me a line below and you'll get my free melody mapping ear training guide, where we're actually both gonna go together over a song, okay? And we're gonna apply what we've talked about today in order to actually get the key of a song and get a little bit of the melody as well. Now, all of these trainings aren't about turning you into this musical genius overnight, but they're about giving you the freedom to play whatever you want, whenever you want, without desperately searching and relying on tabs. God bless you and see you soon.